lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strada. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much for all the love and support. To those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Alright lovelies, let's get into this video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where biracial, kids are asked to call out, their pan-colored mom on how they treat them. And this actually got me, thinking. Then I decided to bring it up here. I'm just going to roll it, guys. Just, pay attentively to what they have to say. I'm just going to read the clip. Please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes, guys. Alright, lovelies, let's dive into it.
I know what mixed baby needs to hear this, but it's okay if you drop your white mom. It is. There are so many white mothers who sit here and they have mixed babies, and then they literally destroy us. My mom, ever since I was little, has been calling black women disgusting and loud and dirty and arrogant and ghetto, and for some reason she fails to realize that I am the same woman that she is talking about. She fails to realize that there's no difference between us. The only difference is the slightly lighter complexion. That's it. Y'all sit here as white women and you have black and brown and Asian children, and then you literally talk about us like we can't hear you. You talk about how we're disgusting and how we leech off the government and how we're not even from America and how we don't even need to have protests for things because everyone's created equal in the first place, but then you date white supremacists and bring them into our own houses and you expect us to be comfortable. I don't get how y'all can pretend that your kids don't hear you and then be absolutely baffled when they finally do and they finally don't want to be around you.
Hey black moms, I got you for a minute. Sit this one out. Hey yo, white moms, stop having biracial kids. You as funny as fuck to run your mouth all over this app talking about that. Knee slapper, can we talk about how my granddaddy disowned my mom after she had the first of us? Can we talk about how my own mother called me racist towards white people because of Breonna Taylor? At least the black mother would have known how to do my hair properly and given a shit. I am definitely not the prize to the skin fetish you had with my father. At least the black mother would not have invalidated any experiences I had in school with being bullied for my skin color or for looking the way I look. Feel like my black mama would have come up and beat a fourth grader's ass when they called me the N-word. Stop worrying about black moms. They are not failing with the biracial kids as much as you are, okay?
So I grew up with a white mom who did not care. Like, she'll let me run around like looking musty, dirty, did not help me with my hair, did not do none of that, did not discipline me, nothing like that. She let my white side of the family put relaxers in my hair, straighten my hair whenever they wanted to make it look better. Told me that I could not go to the high school that I worked so hard to get into because the black girls there would be jealous of me and want to fight me all the time. She'll say things like, oh, it's so ghetto there now because of those people. Oh, those black people make that restaurant so ghetto. Da, da, da. Like, seriously? She also makes very passive aggressive, like racist stereotype comments about black people. And honestly, it just like, it hurts my heart because it's like, how could you have raised 8 black children and then have a biracial child and you proceed to still have these notions on black people and you proceed to talk like this and act like this? It's crazy to me. And 9 times out of 10, it's always those white moms who are like, oh, I'm not racist. It's not me. I'm not one of those white people. I have black children. That are the racist ones.
Us biracial kids with the white moms are the most problematic.
No, but can we talk about how us biracial folks, that's me, with white moms can be the most problematic, because a lot of times our white mothers will expect us to take on identities that reflect their own, because the sacrifice of motherhood is so severe that they kind of want their biracial black presenting children to reflect their white experience. And I think a lot of folks like me, frankly, are just unwilling to challenge their mothers and say, like, I love you, but you are wrong. I love you, but my experience is different. And I love you, but I refuse to carry beliefs that are going to be violent towards other members of the Black community, because I love my Blackness too much to hold those beliefs, right? And that will cause like a rift with some family members, and has for me, but I would never take it back, because I don't want to be one of those people who holds us back.
So I also have a white mom, and whether or not you other half-breeds want to digest it and understand it and take accountability for it, is the fact that having a white mom is different than having a Black mom, socially and psychologically. When people say that mixed kids with Black moms are different than mixed kids with white moms, they're talking about the fact that mixed kids with Black moms typically tend to not grow up to be coons and colorists. And where do coon and colorist ideologies derive from? These ideologies didn't just come from nowhere. Who's teaching these kids these things? I'm so tired of saying it, but there are more racist white moms than y'all want to believe.
Y'all go watch the rest of that video. It's your girl, the mindset mistress. So let's get into the mindset of this. This is an issue. This is a mindset I always wanted to discuss: biracial children. I have 6 children. All of my children are Black. However, all of my nieces and nephews are biracial. Remember, if y'all watched my 11-part video, when when me and my now husband broke up for 3 years, the man I was with, he was mixed, and told me his story about, how he was conceived and all of that. I've always said that I feel like mixed kids go through something mentally that nobody can understand but them. From what I've witnessed growing up in the hood, you know what I'm saying, and having mixed friends and all of that, it seems as if when you're with your white family and friends, you're not white enough for them. And then when you're with your Black friends, you're not Black enough for them. And then, you're from friends that I know their experience with having a white mom with being mixed, they will say some racist shit and think that it has no effect on their children. I can't speak on it because I have no experience in that. I have an opinion, but I speak on shit that I've experienced. I know that, I have a friend of mine that was conceived from a Black man who had a Black wife and cheated on that Black wife and had a baby by a white woman. And because they were conceived like that, the other Black children did not want to accept them into like their brother and sisterhood. And even as adults, they still don't fuck with them. Like that's devastating. I've always wondered what the mind of, in this young lady on this video, she discussed about how her mom is white, and she's telling other biracial children, it's okay if you drop your white mama. She says that her mom says in front of her entire life, when she speaks about Black women, she talks about how dirty, disgusting, ghetto, uneducated. Those are the words that she uses when she talks about Black women, not realizing that her daughter is a Black woman. That's crazy to me. It's crazy to me how, I'm not speaking of all white women, so let's not make this about race, but white women who choose to sleep with a Black man and have a baby with the Black man, understand that those kids that you have with them, they are biracial. And in this world that we live in, we all know that mix is considered Black. Unless I'm wrong, y'all check me on that. But from my understanding, if you mixed, you're Black. If you got any Black in you, you're Black. That's my understanding. That's like a universal unspoken Black language. Like if you got some Black in you, you Black. And my heart breaks for people that are biracial. Even like if you're not just Black and white, any type of two different races that are mixed. It makes me wonder, is it harder for you to find that purpose and that self-worth? Is it harder for you to find who you really are when you feel like you're being pulled between two? Like I use Black and white because I only have friends that are mixed with those races, but I know that there's other different kind of mixed races out there. But, I always have wanted to do a documentary or wanted to interview folks on my podcast that are of mixed race descent, because I think that this is something that needs to be talked about more. I really feel like not to just try to say that everything that happens in this world can cause mental health issues, but I do think this is one of them. I do. And I'm not mixed. Well, I have Choctaw Native, but you know, every black person in America say they got Indian in their family. I don't, but there's my proof. I'm just saying, y'all, don't do me. I'm just saying. But anyways, back to the subject at hand. I would love to, if anybody who out there who's mixed race, please make give me some insight in the comments, because if you notice, I haven't really given my opinion too much about this, because I like to speak about shit that I've lived and experienced, and I am a black woman. I don't know what it feels like to be mixed. I don't know what it feels like to move in this world as a mixed person. Girl, you better quit barking at people out that window. You hear me, Naomi? She is so mean. Anyways, I holla.
Every white mother with biracial children, please go back and watch that original video. That was so well said. As someone who grew up in Maine with 94% white people, I watched this go on in my own community. A lot of white women would fetish these black men because it was so rare. You know, 94% white people, that's pretty rare. And I remember some of them would be like, oh, I want to have a mixed baby so they have that beautiful darker skin. Like it's a car they're picking out, or, you know, like so it just bothered me, and it never really sat right with me. Like, these are human beings. This isn't like the new shade of your car or your house you're picking out. This is a human being with a consciousness and, you know, feelings and traumas, generational traumas that you don't understand. And 9 times out of 10, when things would go south with the father, it would reaffirm their inner racist. And it would, you know, they pass it on to their kid without realizing it. Then they use their child as a shield. Well, I can't be racist because I have a black child. Like, yes, so did slave owners. And they had mixed children because they raped their slaves. Like, that is not the flex you think it is. I was adopted, and I remember my adoptive father telling me, like, you know, if you were a black child, it would be a lot harder for you. Obviously, I can love you, I can raise you the best I can as a white man, but without that black influence, that would be a disservice to you. I wouldn't be properly preparing you for life as a black American because I don't know what that's like. And I didn't understand him for years. And then I went to prison and I saw how things really are in this country. And I finally put it together. From a psychological perspective, I believe these white women who fetish black men have been abused by racist white men in their family. And I think subconsciously that is their way of rebelling and fighting back. And because now that these women have been with black men, the white men in the white community are telling them, you're damaged goods, you're used up, you're this, you're that, you've been, you know, whatever. That then filters down into these women punching down on black women, telling them why, you know, black men prefer white women. And then the whole racist, low-key racist cycle starts again. Can we address this in our white community and stop doing this to, you know, the black community and the biracial children that, you know, we are creating and damaging? I don't have black children. Both my kids are white. So I'm not trying to shame these white mothers that have biracial children. I'm trying to start a conversation in our white community. Like, how can we be better? How can we address this? How can we deal with our own trauma from white men so we don't continue this cycle of racism and misogyny? Again, I did not make this video to bash white women with biracial children. I'm just asking them to, you know, take a good look and realize, like, y'all don't even know to teach your kids hands up, don't shoot. The rules for white people in society are very different than the rules for black people. And it's not like they're set of rules. It's just things to live by to keep you safe. We don't have these stipulations as white people. So how are we supposed to teach biracial children how to keep themselves safe when we don't have the same threat?
I'm gonna need y'all white parents of biracial kids to listen in real quick. I'm gonna give you fair warning, this might be an uncomfortable conversation, but it's necessary. A lot of y'all's kids have complexes and identity issues, and it's not because they have a white parent. It's because a lot of y'all chose to have biracial kids before you unpacked your internalized racism and anti-blackness. It's because a lot of y'all have biracial children without learning enough about the black experience to guide your child through a black experience. To guide them through a world that is inherently anti-black. Cutting off your racist family members is not all it takes to raise a biracial kid. In fact, that doesn't even come close to the bare minimum. You can have the best intentions for your children while still causing them collective harm. And you know, I first noticed this when my daughter was an infant and I started joining Facebook groups for parents of biracial kids. These white moms would have the best intentions, yet end up on Facebook crying about how their child was saying they didn't want to be black and they hated being black. And because these parents did not take the time to educate themselves whatsoever on systemic racism and anti-blackness on a level that they would be able to appropriately raise a biracial child, they were on the internet crying for help instead of helping their kid. You cannot shield your child from experiencing anti-blackness in the world, but you can equip them to deal with it. I get told pretty frequently that my daughter will be mistaken for a black mom biracial. Now I'm going to explain to you why. First and foremost, she is not raised in an anti-black environment. A lot of black men, white women relationships are inherently anti-black due to the fact that the relationship is based on fetishization and the hatred of black women instead of mutual love. The way that I look at it, the world is constantly going to be hurling anti-blackness at my child. And instead of acting like it does not exist, I have been equipping my child since birth to be able to handle said anti-blackness through radical self-love and positive identity. My child has at a young age told me that she wanted to be white to match her family. Right then and there, we had a very long conversation about anti-blackness and racism at 4 years old, and how her blackness was the most beautiful part of her. She made a comment one time about her baby doll, her black baby with coily hair, being ugly. Again, we had a long discussion about colorism, texturism, and racism. After that day, that baby did not leave her hip. You cannot just be not teaching your kid to be anti-black. You have to be preparing them for an anti-black world. You have to ensure that you are not feeding your child a complex towards other black people, that you're showing them how to cherish and uplift their community. See, biracial kids with white parents can be raised to be pro-black, but many aren't. And that is because their environment and their role models are not pro-black. If you don't want your child to have identity issues, it starts with you. It is wholeheartedly possible for you to educate yourself. A lot of y'all simply choose not to. Do better.
Like, seriously, lovelies, when I saw this video on my For You, it actually reminded me of a video I posted on my other channel, which is Ballistic Gist. You can just do it yourself, just check it out. We have other interesting topics talked about in that other channel. And this video, I was seeing a biracial kid. She was, calling out, yelling and crying on how her mom constantly used this word on her and her, black friends. She described it as a way of the way she used it to, provoke her, and as if she's getting back on her own father. So this particular biracial kid, she's now adult, described or explained how her mom and her dad, after giving birth to her, they no longer get along with each other. So the mom often used this racial, slurs on her, calling her the N-word. And anytime she corrects her mom not to use that word, the mom goes as far as calling her repeatedly and even calling her friends anytime her friends visit. And now she went ahead to tell the daughter that she has the right to use such words on her because she birthed her. or she gave birth to her, and she also have the right to use that word on her so-called, dad. She was all emotional, crying and yelling on how she feels some type of hate. She don't know that her mom or her dad actually left her to be raised by her mother, who claimed not to be Ray and Sis, but constantly giving the reasons why she believed that she's Ray and Sis. And now, coming to see all these biracial, kids coming out to give their experience on how, these pan-colored women use the opportunity which they have by having, biracial kids to justify the level of their anti-blackness. And when they ask, or when you ask such people like, why are you like this? Why is it that you dislike black people, or you show your level of anti-blackness? They will just go ahead and tell you that no, I don't have any thing. I don't have any grudges, so I do not dislike people of this. I have black friends. I have black child. So to justify the fact. This situation, but I see it as a way of some of all these, pan-colored people. They use it in a way of proving themselves or trying to bring out the level of Ray and Sis towards them. So they see it that, okay, since I can't use this thing, or I can't use all these racial slurs, or I can't talk like this, or because maybe I am purely pan-colored, let me just get myself entangled with someone of maybe a black person. So without giving, I can actually use these slurs that everybody is like, oh my god, you shouldn't use it. I can just use this opportunity, since I have dated a black dude, and also I have biracial kids, so I can use it. So they're using this avenue as a justification to bring out their Ray and Sis inward. Because when you ask them, or when you want to confront them, they will come with the defense of, okay, why would you say something like that while I am married, or I'm dating a black guy and I have a black kid? So why would you tell me that I'm anti-blackness, or I'm Ray and Sis? They will just use it to defend themselves, because they felt that, okay, since they have biracial whatever, they have the opportunity, or they can use whatever racial slurs they want to use, and nobody's going to judge them. They will justify that fact. This also reminds me, it's actually out of this topic of Jane Elliott. She was caught on camera calling someone, using the N-word on someone. And when she was asked, she was like, okay, this is none of your business. The person I'm using this stuff on is actually not complaining, so it's none of your business. So to her, because she's an activist, she has been fighting for black people and all of that. So to her, she has felt very, very comfortable that she can actually want to use it, because she felt that she's been fighting for black people. So because of that, she had the opportunity, or she can use it, but without her knowing that even if you are an activist, you're fighting for black people and all of that, that doesn't actually give you the right to use such word, because you are a pan-colored person. And this is another thing with these biracial women, with these pan-colored women with biracial kids. They will want to have a biracial kid to justify their actions, but they wouldn't want to, like, how would you even give birth to somebody that you don't like? Like, what are you trying to do if not to justify that thing inside of you, that thing that is already built inside of you, if not to justify using something that they told you not to use? Most of them will just want to have kids and babies with black dudes, and just leave them alone, because they just want to, I have a biracial kid, so I cannot be Ray and Sis. I have a biracial kid, so I can use this racial slur. I have a biracial kid, so I can wear this kind of hair. Like, serious, just look at what this women is making this biracial kids go through. When I was listening to this, I felt some type of way because myself, I know my own story. I know my own story. Like, there is a way, pan-colored people raise a biracial kid compared to that of a way when a black woman actually raised a biracial kid. A black woman will just tell you the way it is. They will just, as in, they are so transparent. But these white women, they will just, some of them will actually be cursing their own someone they gave birth to. How can you, like, after having a biracial baby yourself, you would just go ahead and start cursing, oh my god, black people are so ghetto, oh my god, they're so loud, but you have a black woman in you. You birthed a black woman, but you forgot, all of a sudden you forgot that you birthed one, and you are just insulting, showing your entire blackness, while your offspring what you have to do that. Like, your offspring will literally tell your mom you have to stop. Do you know how it makes your offspring to feel? Do you know how it makes them feel? They are already suffering an identity crisis because they are just in the middle. They are in between black or white. They don't know, what to do. They are mostly even accepted in the black community compared to pan-colored community. They are mostly accepted. They are even treated more respectfully compared to that. And you, on the other hand, instead of you to make them feel comfortable with themselves, with their own, like, if you don't want to raise your biracial, can you just stop having them? If you can teach them what they need to know, can you just stop having them? Than for them to come out here yelling and crying on how you have treated them as a mom. Can you just stop having them? Instead of you to do the right thing to raise your own biracial properly, but you just want to use that avenue to justify. So why are you so angered? Why are you so angered, calling, trying to like belittle your own offspring, or because you think you want to prove a point? You wouldn't want them to mingle, like as if in your own community they are even accepted. You wouldn't want them to mingle with their other half. So don't you know that even if you're white, black, but if you are mixed with black, you are black. There's nothing you can do about it. So if you don't want to have a biracial, it's better for you not to have it than to make these kids come out to start questioning themselves, try to crying, and oh my god, I'm disappointed in my mom. Like, seriously, I have seen this on TikTok. It's trending. They are all coming out, explaining, crying, and telling us how they've been treated as a biracial with a pan-colored mom. Like, how will you just do this to your own offspring? Your own. And if you know you don't want to, be so kind, why do you keep on having them? Why not just leave this? Don't have them. You can have with your own kind. How would you have something in your arena but you keep on mouthing that stuff? How would you feel as a pan-colored person? You see, like, your mom is a pan-colored person, you are as a pan-colored person. You see your mom, or maybe your mom is actually a black person and you're a pan-colored. You see your mom cursing a fellow pan-colored. How would you feel? This is how these people are feeling right now. Like, look at the other first lady that's, I stitched her video. She was talking about how her mom would just be in her presence, trying to mouth black women. Black women are this, they are that, loud mouth, this, oh my god, dirty, oh my goodness. But you have one at home. How do you expect this child or this baby to, to communicate with the outside world? After all of this course, do you expect her to go out there and see herself as somebody? Because she already seen herself as a black person. If your mom can talk all ill whatever about you, what do you expect the outside world to do to you? You're already damaged from the inside. That is why when she was like, just leave them. But my own, if you're a pan-colored woman and you don't want to treat these people well, you don't want to explain the difference, you don't want to tell them things on how to accept themselves the way they are, it's better for you to just keep don't having them. Do not have them. It's not a must. You can braid with your fellow, pan-colored, and just leave these people alone. Seriously. And sometimes I used to blame some of our brothers. Some of them, we actually give them hand to do stuff like this. I saw a video, that was a trending video, was it, early this year? Some group of brothers were like, of course of a thing, of course I am a black guy married to a white woman so she can use it. Like, our brothers are even enabling this kind of a character, then leaving your biracial kid in the middle. She's confused if she should go to the white side or her white side or her black side. She will even be more acceptable in her black side. But it's just what it is. Anyways, lovelies, why not just leave me your thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational purposes. So please share this video, subscribe to this channel if you're here to do that. And I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that this channel, we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We are just here solely for educational and informative purposes, guys. Alright, please just share this video, leave your thought in the comment section, subscribe to my channel if you are yet to do that, and I will see you lovelies when I upload my next one.